Yes. Um, Here in Washington State, I can legally smoke this stuff. Actually, I'm not supposed to smoke it here in this hotel I'm at. Motel, which shall not be named because I'm putting this on YouTube. Um, but I found that to be. I know my family, a lot of my family doesn't approve of marijuana, and it's completely understandable in just because, most of them grew up in that time where everybody was brainwashed to believe that marijuana was bad and alcohol was okay in moderation. Whereas in truth, marijuana is actually a consciousness elevating substance, and alcohol is a thought killer, and it makes you violent, and it's also addictive. But it's legal, and legality seems to take precedence over moral judgment in a lot of people's minds and hearts, and it has ever since, like slavery and things like that, where people are like, I know it's wrong, but it is legal, so, or illegal, or whatever, and then they make their judgments based on what the frickin' law says. Fuck the law. The law isn't you. The law is made by people that are no more perfect than you. I mean, you're not perfect. We're not perfect. They weren't perfect. Their motivations weren't pure in making these laws. The laws only benefit certain segments of society, and it's usually the segments that have the most money. So, just restating the obvious to a lot of people here, but it bears repeating, I think. Excuse me. Shit, I didn't get a hit. Okay. Either I'm out, or I didn't screw it all the way in, or it's not charged enough. One of those three options. Sorry, Mom. I know this is really embarrassing, but I think you already... I don't know. This is me. This is what I do. I smoke. This is THC oil, by the way. This isn't anything addictive. Well, not physically. Possibly psychologically. God damn it. Alright, I'm gonna have to give this a minute, I think. Anyway. Speaking of drugs, I was told by my mother that, I went to this Methodist church, downtown Piedmont, West Virginia, town I was raised in. I was born in San Jose, California, but I was raised in West Virginia from the time I was like 4 or 5 up until, and I didn't leave until I was 20. I mean, I didn't leave permanently. I mean, I visited other places, but I didn't move away until I think I was 20, because I went to college. And, anyway. Across from the church that I was in a choir in that church. Didn't really have my heart in it as far as the singing. The songs weren't all that great, I mean, to be honest. But anyway, I was in the choir. That was my Sunday school and all that, and friends I grew up with that some of whom are still alive, and some of whom have passed on now because my years are advancing a little bit quicker than um, I would like them to. So my mother said there are syringes because there's like this heroin epidemic now where I'm from. So I'd have to assume if it's there and it wasn't there before and I don't remember it being there, it has to be everywhere. So is that the thing? Is everybody on heroin now? Brown, as they call it, or whatever? I only did heroin accidentally one time, and that's because I did ecstasy in Atlanta at this rave outside of the Tabernacle. You people from that area will know the Tabernacle and the floors, and anyway, it was Christmas, and I brought I brought some X, but off somebody outside, the place, and not knowing that they cut it with other illicit drugs or illegal drugs, like cocaine or heroin, and I got lucky and I got heroin. And not lucky. I got sick, I threw up. I was doing this nodding thing, and I'd read enough about heroin to know that was one of the effects of it. And I was like, wow, this is miserable. And I went and sat on some big couch in one of the big rave rooms, all the young white kids with the glow sticks hanging around their necks were like bouncing around, pogoing and shit to that weird electronic music that I don't really get into, but whatever. But then this girl came up and she started rubbing my shoulders, and like she knew intuitively, and what she said, "Oh, is this your first time?" And I said, "Yeah." And she was just rubbing my shoulders, and she was just so kind. And it was just like, it was pure love. And then I understood the MDMA part. Now, if I could just get that by itself, that would be fine. I don't need the heroin with it. I mean, what the fuck? Why can't I just get MDMA in the store? I mean, how is that? That can't even be a driving hazard. Under the influence of love. He crashed because he was just loving too much. He was just too emotionally elated. I don't know. It's like they want to suppress the drugs that actually do benefit, and then they want to give free rein to these pharmaceutical companies who are killing more people every day than any of the illegal drugs combined. I mean, I'm pretty sure that statistic has been circulating from several different sources for a while now, and it's true. So anyway, let's see if this thing works now. Okay, I turn it off. Now it's on. Fuck. Okay.